going from flower to flower, gathering nectar from which honey is made, and pollen which is used to feed the young bees. The honeybee provides a further service to nature by transferring pollen from one flower to another, an essential element in the continuation of plant life. At one time, the beekeeper kept his bees in this type of hive. Today, a different style of hive is used, as seen in this well laid out apiary. While working with his bees, the beekeeper wears specially designed clothing to protect him from the unpleasant sting of the bee. Most essential is the hat and veil to protect the face and head. The fully dressed beekeeper, one small step from outer space. The beginner may get his first bees in a half-sized hive called a nucleus or nuke. Or, if he is lucky, he may find a swarm on a tree in his garden. This prime swarm, containing anything from 25,000 to 30,000 bees, has just left the parent hive and now awaits the return of the scout bees who are out looking for a new colony site. Experienced beekeepers shake the swarm into a nuke, which is then covered with a cloth and removed before the scouts return. The bar frames on which the honeycomb is built are then added. The beginner now has his first hive, which in time will develop into an apiary such as this. As well as protective clothing, the beekeeper uses special equipment, the most important item being the smoker. Old sacking or corrugated cardboard are used as fuel. Smoke has the effect of subduing the bees and enables the beekeeper to control the colony while examining the hive containing approximately 60,000 bees. Having taken off the roof, the crown board is removed with a hive tool. Before examining the frames, the beekeeper will ensure that the queen bee is not on the crown board. This is a dummy board, sometimes used to reduce the brood area. An examination of a frame from the center of the brood chamber shows the beekeeper how his colony is developing. The dark brown center area contains the grubs, now in the process of changing into bees. The queen bee lays an egg in each small cell. The egg becomes a tiny white grub which grows and eventually emerges from the cell as a fully grown bee. The grubs and the developing bees are collectively called the brood. Having brushed the bees from the frame with a goose quill, an examination of the comb shows the nectar and pollen in the open cells. The covered area contains honey. In these open cells, eggs may be found. Here the queen bee, longer and more shapely than the worker bees, is picked up by the beekeeper. Her wings are clipped and she is marked with paint for easy identification. Bees will not swarm without the queen, and since a queen with her wings clipped cannot fly, the swarm will return again to the parent hive. Clean water is essential in the rearing of young bees and is placed near the hive. Early in the summer, a frame of wire or slotted zinc, called a queen excluder, is placed on top of the brood chamber. Above this, a box of shallow bar frames known as a super is added. Bees will store honey in the super, but the excluder prevents the queen from entering it and laying eggs there. Further supers may be added as required. At the end of the honey flow, generally late in July, a clearing board is inserted under the top super. The holes in the clearing board allow the bees to go downwards, but wire mesh on the underside prevents them from coming up again. On the following day, the top super will be clear of bees and can be removed. The clearing board will later be inserted underneath the other supers in turn. Bees can also be cleared from the super by using a chemical called benzaldehyde, which is sprinkled on a special board. The board is then placed over the uncovered super. A few minutes later, the super will be almost clear of bees and can be removed. Any remaining bees are brushed from the frames with a goose quill. A sight to gladden the hearts of all beekeepers is a trailer of honey-laden supers on its way to the honey house.